is punctuation marks. Okay, so what is punctuation mark? Punctuation mark refers to tools used in writing to separate sentences, phrases, and clauses so that their intended meaning is clear. I mean, when you are writing maybe a comprehension or an essay or a story, without the use of punctuation marks, the reader or the person you're trying to convey your message to won't be able to understand exactly what you're trying to say. So the use of punctuation marks makes your writing very easy to be understood. So we have some of these punctuation marks as, we have some of them as end marks, which is called period, note of interrogation, note of exclamation, comma, colon, semicolon, hyphen, dash, apostrophe, question mark, parentheses, and brackets. So we're going to be taking them one after the other to know what exactly they mean. So, okay, the first one is period. Period is called full stop in England. I mean, I think that's what everybody knows period to be, okay? So it's basically called full stop. So for the course of this lesson, we're going to be calling this period, or if you hear full stop, just know it's the same thing. So a period declares the end of a sentence. It also indicates the separation of sentences so that the readers do not mix up different sentences. Okay? So a period is used at the end of a sentence which is complete and not a question or an exclamatory sentence. So whenever you're writing something and you come to a point where you put a period or a full stop, that means that sentence is complete and you've stopped at that point. Okay, so an example is Alex was a little boy when he first saw a person dying. Full stop. That's a complete sentence. Alex was a little boy when he first saw a person dying. You start the next sentence. He was so shocked and panicked that he could not sleep for several days. Full stop. See that? He still fears the sight of someone's death. Full stop. These are three sentences, okay? But we're using full stop to put an end to each of them so that you understand what each of them is saying, right? So the period is also used in abbreviations. Example, St. Probably St. Louis. So you see a capital S and a small t with a full stop. That means St. Example, Gratia. That is example where we have EG. Nota bene, that is note NB. Okay, so these are the functions of period or full stop, if you may like. So imagine you reading this sentence without a full stop. It'd be hard for you to catch your breath. So full stop helps you to catch your breath, okay? End a sentence before proceeding to another one. Okay, the next one is note of interrogation, which we know as question mark, right? That's the sign over there. So what is that? The note of interrogation is used to complete sentences that form a direct question. Indirect questions are regarded as statements, okay? And they take periods, not question marks. Let me read that again. The note of interrogation is used to complete sentences that form a direct question. Okay, sentences that form a direct question goes with interrogatory or note of interrogation. Then indirect questions are regarded as statements, okay, and they take periods, not question marks. So we're going to see the difference between the two of them. An example: have you had your breakfast? Have you had your breakfast? That is a direct question. So of course, you're going to use a question mark at the end of that sentence. Where are you going? It's a direct question. You use a question mark. I don't know where he is going. It's a statement. Right? So you don't have to use the question mark. That is an example of an indirect question, okay, that goes with period and not a question mark. Right? So moving further, okay, we have, do you know he was watching TV all day long while I was cleaning the house for the party that we want to throw on this weekend? You see how long that sentence is. But it is still a question mark. Because it started with, do you know he was watching TV all day long while I was cleaning the house for the party that we want to throw on this weekend. It's a long sentence, yet it is a direct question. Alright? This one, do you once think about your family, your career, your future, your life? These are series of questions. You see that? And each of them is going with what? A question mark. Okay. So I want you to know that what, so, right? These single word questions are used only in informal writings. Okay, so I need you to know that as well. Okay, moving forward, we have note of exclamation. Alright, note of exclamation or exclamation mark or point with a sign like this. So the note of exclamation indicates excitement, either positive or negative excitement. It can also be used for giving additional emphasis to sentences, phrases, or single words, and especially to commands and interjections. So exclamation marks are basically used to indicate excitement, okay, a state of surprise, whether it becomes positively or negatively. Okay, an example is wait. Don't take another step. See that it's coming as a command or something that is coming suddenly. Wait. See the exclamation mark, okay? Don't take another step. And of course, when you are using sentences or when you are using exclamation mark on sentences, there is a rise in the tone of your voice. Okay, the next one, I can't believe she could say that. See that? I can't believe she could say that. You didn't believe it, you didn't see it coming, and she said it, so you were shocked. And that comes with an exclamation mark. What a gorgeous house, an excitement. It has an exclamation mark. Okay, the next one is comma. Alright, the comma is the most useful and common punctuation mark in English. It has many important roles in making the written form of English stay easy to read. Commas usually add breathing scope for the readers in sentences. So basically, a comma is used to help you catch your breath before you continue to finish up a sentence. Instead of just reading it voraciously, you use commas to catch your breath and then you continue. So we have comma between independent clauses. What does that mean? Usually, a comma separates two independent clauses when they are connected by certain coordinating conjunctions. We have and, but, or, nor, or far. Remember we talked about that in GST112, conjunctions or connective words. For example, they finished dinner in pin-drop silence, but Alex knew that he would have to apologize. See that? They finished dinner in pin-drop silence. You stop a bit, you catch your breath, or you catch your breath, but Alex knew that he would have to apologize, right? I want to watch a movie after dinner, but I could not tell her as I was confused about her reactions. So imagine you reading that without a comma. I wanted to watch a movie after dinner, but I could not tell her as I was you're going to run out of your breath. Okay, we had dinner and then I watched a movie. In this sentence, no comma is needed between these clauses. We had dinner and, because you have a connecting word, and then I watched a movie. Okay, comma after introductory clauses, phrases, and expression. Commas are used not only between independent clauses, but also after interrogatory clauses and phrases. Some expressions and connectors, which are placed at the beginning of a sentence, also require a comma after them. For example, if you take off your jacket, you will catch a cold. Alright? If the subordinators are used at the beginning of the sentence, the comma marks the separation of the two clauses. If you take off your jacket, as a subordinator, you will catch a cold. See that? Being insulted, the piper went to the hill. Okay? Participial phrases are also always separated from the clauses by commas. Okay? Before you start writing it, you should read the instructions. You see how that comes? Two clauses, two independent clauses, becoming one sentence with the use of a comma. Okay, we have the next one, series comma. Commas are used to separate multiple items of the same category in a series. These items can be a series of words, phrases or clauses. For instance, we bought pizza, right? Burgers, chocolate, and a chocolate cake on top. All these things are pastries, okay, if you like, all right? So they belong to the same series of words, but we had to demarcate them with commas. We bought pizza, burgers, chocolate, and a chocolate cake on top. Maybe the person you're talking to will be counting it for you because, of course, you're taking it one after the other. Okay, the batsman set up his pads, put on his helmet, and played a good knock. You see, all these preparations are for playing a good knock. Okay, so but the activities he took were separated by commas. He is a player, a singer, an actor, and a director. So that is the function of series comma. The next one is comma before tag question. Commas are used before a tag question, which is usually a reassuring statement of a sentence's overall idea. Okay? They are ready to go, aren't they? They are ready to go, aren't they? You see that they, apostrophe, okay, are ready to go, comma, aren't they? They will never do it. Will they? You see that? He loves you, doesn't he? So there's a break, and then the sentence finishes up with a question mark. So if you're asking a question, you should know where to put your comma before you now throw the very question. He loves you, that is certain. Okay? Then the question comes, doesn't he? With a question mark. Okay, comma indirect address. Commas are used in vocative uses. Calling someone by name or directly referring to them requires separation by commas. For example, hey, Joe, what are you doing? See that? Hey, comma, Joe, comma, what are you doing? Listen, comma, Lee, comma, you have to ball well today. Listen, Lee, you have to ball well today. You know, kid, when I was your age, I used to go out a lot. See the demarcations with commas, vocative uses, calling someone's name. The next one is comma for adding non-essential ideas and non-restrictive clauses. Commas can be used to add non-essential ideas or facts in the form of words, phrases, or clauses into a sentence. Usually, removing these ideas from sentences does not affect the grammatical accuracy of the sentence. Okay, let's see some examples. There's a place in London, just across the river, where I visited last week. Okay? I mean, it's to add non-essential ideas or facts. Right? There's a place in London, just across the river. It might be essential to add that or non-essential, but if you must have to add that, of course, you have to separate it with a comma, where I visited last week. The new player, you know him, scored a brilliant century. Alright? Whether you know him or not, he just said you know him. Alright, so it can be essential or non-essential, but of course, being there, it has to go with a comma. I suggest if that's okay, that you let him go. I suggest if that's okay, that you let him go. There's a comma there, right? Okay, commas in names and dates. Commas are used to separate names of places and dates. For instance, Jefferson City, Missouri is one of the biggest cities in the world. Jefferson City, Missouri is one of the biggest cities in the world. Okay? Brisbane, Queensland is a big city. You don't just say Brisbane, Queensland is a big city. Brisbane, Queensland is a big city. They were married April 5th, see that, 2013, in Melbourne. Okay? So you separate this date with a comma. Right? Commas in dialogue. Commas are used in the dialogue to set off the indirect speech from the direct speech. Example, indirect speech from the direct speech. Example, I told him, don't go there. Alright? I told him, and the indirect speech, don't go there. When we were going there, she said, you see how I'm reading it? There is a comma, there's a break. When we were going there, she said, we saw thousands of palm trees. Okay? Not when we were going there, she said we saw thousands of palm. No, when we were going there, she said we saw thousands of palm trees. Please, come out. Give me that ball, said the boy. Okay? So that is it for commas in dialogue. The next one is column. What is a column? Columns are the least used punctuation mark. The usage of columns is, of course, limited. Yet, if you know how to use them, you will be able to use them in your writing. Okay? Columns are used in the salutations of formal letters. Alright? Example, dear sir, column, you continue. Or to whom it may concern, column, you continue. To all members, column, you continue. Alright, so columns sometimes introduce series, lists to describe some new information after a complete sentence. Okay, for instance, incorrect. The fruit seller had bananas, apples, and oranges. Okay, the correct one, the fruit seller had 3 kinds of fruits. See that? The fruit seller had 3 kinds of fruits. Then you bring the column. The column now tells you the 3 kinds of fruits. She had bananas, she had apples, she had oranges. You see that? Okay? A column also is used to connect 2 independent clauses where the first one explains the second clause or logically follows it. So the first word after a column usually is not capitalized, you know that, unless the column introduces a series of new sentences or independent clauses. For example, he was just thinking only one thing. Only one thing. Column. What was his dog doing there? See that? I knew the clue. Column. You just have to read it in the mirror. Okay? So, can we go back? Okay. Colors are used for expressing time in figures. Let's see what that means. Okay? Example, 1:30 a.m. You see how it is written? 1 column 30 a.m. Not clock. Alright? 7 column 35 p.m. 6 column 30 in the morning. So this is how you write your times in figures. Okay? Now in semicolon, semicolons are almost like periods. Okay, but they connect 2 independent clauses or sentences together instead of using a coordinating conjunction. Okay? So semicolons can be replaced by the coordinating conjunctions. Let's see an example. We do not need a car. Semicolon. We want to sell it. This semicolon could be replaced by and. So you could as well read, we do not need a car now and we want to sell it. Right? But if you don't want to use an and, just put a semicolon and then you finish up your sentence. Okay, common transitional expressions such as therefore, for instance, namely, indeed, additionally, furthermore, and the rest of them are used after a semicolon to start a new clause. Let's see an example. We used to love hunting, semicolon. However, it is not legal. See that? We used to love hunting is an expression. However, okay, a common transitional expression, however, it is not legal. So you're using however to introduce a new clause. He does not like me, semicolon. Likewise, I do not like him. Alright? It's too cold out there, semicolon. Indeed, it's winter. So you are using this common transitional expressions to, after the semicolon, to introduce the rest of the sentence or the next clause of your sentence. Okay? The next one is hyphen. Okay? Hyphens combine words together to make compound nouns or adjectives. Hyphens are also used with some suffixes and prefixes, such as like, white, anti, and post, to make a new adjective. So let's see an example. Anti-violent. Anti-violent. You see that? Alright, these are like 2 words combined together, but they are connected together by a hyphen. Dog like. Dog and like. A hyphen makes it one word. Ability wise. Alright? So compound numbers and continuous numbers require hyphen in them. Compound numbers and continuous numbers require an hyphen in them. The hyphen is used with compound numbers from 21 to 99 in words and with fractions. For instance, 60-5, that's 65, alright? 20-5, 25, okay? Their age is 23 to 25. So it's not, their age is 23, 25. No, it means their age is from 23 to 25. William Shakespeare, 1564 to 1616. See the hyphen, that is from 1564 to 1616. Okay. Alright, the next one is dash. A dash hints a brief break in thought or helps to add information to a sentence. A dash has no space before or after it. Let's see an example. Remember, it gives you hints or a brief break in thoughts. Okay? The man was running around the building, hyphen. I couldn't see his face, hyphen. No, sorry, not hyphen, dash. Okay? Let's start again. The man was running around the building, dash. I couldn't see his face, dash, and disappeared down the alley. Right? So this dashes are connecting and helping you to have a brief break in your thoughts. Remember, in your thoughts, what helps to add information to a sentence. So it's in your thoughts, right? You're more like trying to express your thoughts or give more information to your sentence. This house, dash, and every house on the street, dash, will be connected by this wire. This house, all right, and every house on the street will be connected by this wire. I mean, when you write like this, somebody reading it will know, oh, okay, this person really has a good command of written English. Russell Crowe, hyphen, you know him? I think, hyphen, sorry, dash, I don't know why I'm doing that. He's coming to our locality, okay? You see, in this case now we have two punctuations. We have the dash, and in the middle of it we have a question mark. Okay, the next one is apostrophe. Apostrophe is the little comma you have up there, all right? A lot of people make this mistake on the use of this apostrophe, so we're going to try to address that now. An apostrophe indicates possession and the exclusion of letters in contractions, all right? Example, they are going to Canada, right? They are, of course, you have to read that one after the other. It is, they are going to Canada, right? They are going to Canada. So the apostrophe up there connects the they and the are and removes the a, right? They are going to Canada, okay? And then, I'm not going. I'm not going. Now, this I'm not going is I am not going. A lot of times people write the am not going, which is very wrong. Okay, you have to take note. When you write am not going, I'm not going, is wrong. The actual thing is I, apostrophe, removing the a and the am, and putting only am, not going. So I'm not going, I'm a chef. I'm good, not am, not I apostrophe m. Robert's watch, apostrophe s, meaning the watch belongs to Robert. Someone's glasses, right? Trees, leaves. Now look at this. If there is an s before the apostrophe, no s is added for it. Trees, leaves. That is trees, plural, their leaves. Alright, so the apostrophe is coming after the s. So you don't need to put an extra s on that. Teams, skulls. Alright? Okay, so that's for apostrophe. The next one is quotation marks. Quotation mark is the one you have the two commas up there and a dot dot dot. Okay? So what is that? Quotation marks are used for enclosing direct quotations of written or spoken words of others. Remember, you are trying to report or to say what others have said, making that thing others have said an indirect speech. Okay? They are also called quote marks or just quotes for short. The first of the pair is the opening or open quotes. It comes to the right, that's the one you have here, and the second one is closing or close quotes, comes to the left here. So don't make the mistake of putting the right one and then not putting the left one. It makes it incomplete. For example, have you seen the music video for the song Despacito? Alright? Have you seen the music video for the song? That's why you see people do like this, alright? That's the quotation mark, Despacito. Play with aggression, shouted the coach. Play with aggression, shouted the coach. So the person saying it is telling you what the coach said. Coach said, play with aggression. That doesn't mean you should go there and fight, but have the attitude or the aggressive spirit when you are playing. Your exact words were, get out of the room. Your exact words were, get out of the room. So, of course, the quote mark shows that these were not your words, but the words of the person that told you to get out of the room. Okay, we have parentheses. Parentheses block off materials that interrupt the text to add information. For example, the parks, parentheses in Boston, are always crowded. You see that? The parks in brackets, or parentheses rather, in Boston are always crowded. We provide a lot of services. In parentheses, see our website. Okay, we provide a lot of services, parentheses, see our website. That means if you want more information on that, see our website. The next one is brackets. Brackets enclose the additional things in the quoted material. These additions are used for clarifications of the words or phrases of the quoted material. It's very important that you do not misuse parentheses and brackets. It, the river, taught me all I ever knew about life. Maybe you were talking with someone and then you had mentioned earlier about the river. So you're saying it, okay, in brackets, meaning they're referring to the river, taught you all you ever knew about life. Yeats used to love her. Yeats used to love her. That's Montgomery. And he wrote many poems about her. Okay? Every man sick must die one day. I told in brackets Spielberg, I wouldn't do the movie. Now let's see. The sick you see in quoted text marks a spelling or grammatical error. Right? It means that the text was quoted verbatim. That exactly. Okay? And the mistake it marks appears in the source. It is actually a Latin word that means soul or thoughts. So if you see sick, it means the person is just copying everything exactly the way it was seen from the source and giving it to you.